So a few days later, I make a goddamn video talking about all of the updates coming to PvP in the War Within. And then, like yesterday, Blizzard posts more updates, rendering my video instantly out of date. So let's cover those changes, shall we? Because there's some pretty saucy ones in there, man. And then I'm going to react to the poll that we recently did on this channel, asking you guys who's PvPing in War Within, who's just going to quit the game because it looks like trash, all of that good stuff, man. Okay, honor can be traded across your warband. Lovely. We're just going to read the summary of this blue post right here, by the way, just to save a little bit of time, so you all know. So, yeah, man, you get four characters in your warband, and you can trade honor across your warband characters at an 80% rate of efficiency, right? Pretty tight. It means that you can just, I mean, you're not just going to have honor going to waste on your main character anymore. You farm up 10k honor, well, you can mail 8k of that to a freshly leveled alt and basically buy a full set of honor gear right off of the get-go. So there you go, man. Lovely. More positivity. How about that, man? I tell you what, man, in my last video talking about the changes, I was so positive. I was so happy. I was talking about all the new features coming in War Within, right? Solo queue rate, battlegrounds, all that good stuff. And dude, everyone was just angry. Like, I'm trying my hardest, you know, to be all happy about new expansion. Oh, it's not looking so bad, guys. The comment section was just an undulating mosh pit of anger. So hey man, dare I say, we're gonna venture some more positivity in this video, man. Wish me luck, okay? Crafted PvP gear recipes are purchased for a high amount of honor, but are not bind on pickup and can be traded or sold on the auction house. So there you go, right? You can buy PvP gear recipes using honor only, and you can use them to at least somewhat consistently make some money in the early stages of the expansion where people still need these recipes, so that's okay. It looks like Blizzard are at least doing their best to keep PvP kind of insulated from waiting on things that usually just affect PvE players, right? Because they go on to say crafted PvP gear will use reagents purchased for honor and conquest instead of weekly crafting sparks. If you have the currency, you can just craft the goddamn gear, which is lovely to read. And then they go on to say even further, recipes are one-time purchases and will not change from season to season, though you will recraft the items to increase their item level. So you're not having to refarm the recipes over and over again every time there is a season reset. Not too shabby. Finally, sockets can be added to PvP items using the special Vicious Jeweler's setting, purchased for honor or Vicious Bloodstone, or obtained from match victories and certain war mode activities. And this is, of course, I guess, just a replacement to picking up the extra gem slots from things like the Great Vault and stuff, right? Because we're not going to be using that anymore for PvP. And just digging into the blue notes a little bit as well, I just want to point this part out. The dual crafting version of the Socketer is not compatible with PvP equipment, right? So what it says down here about farming these goddamn Vicious Jewelers settings, which you purchase for honor, this is going to be the core way in which you are adding gem slots to your PvP items. The regular Jewelers sockets that the Jewel Crafters are creating, I guess, are going to be PvE items only. Now for me, I think that this is quite a nice change. I like the idea of just a lot of separation between PvP equipment and PvP professions and all of that kind of stuff, and keep the PvE and the PvP as separate as possible because they are effectively two completely different games. And I like the idea of being able to progress your gear as exclusively in PvP as possible. So I actually quite like this change. I'm sure somebody's smashing up the keyboard right now and absolutely hates it and is uninstalling WoW and all of that good stuff, but me personally, I think it's okay, goddammit. And if it seems like I'm being a bit defensive, man, you haven't been exposed to the comments that I've been exposed to in the past few days, man. It's been crazy as hell. Anyways, onto the poll, man. I asked the question, will you be PvPing in WoW The War Within? Nice and simple, and because, yeah, man, like, people were crazy as hell on the video in which I was trying to be all happy as Larry, I guess. Now, a cumulative total of nearly 60% of you guys answered in the affirmative. 30% said, yes, I'll be PvPing, but casual only stuff, right? Keeping it super basic and simple. And I'll be PvPing, but mostly ranked stuff, scored in at 28%. So that's like still a really good 60% of people that are actually looking to PvP in the War Within, which is why I did the poll, really, you know, because I can get a lot of negative comments sometimes on a video, but that doesn't necessarily represent the fact that, oh, nobody's interested in this thing or nobody's going to be doing this thing. They just wish that it was a little bit better because of this reason or that reason, you know. So I think it's a good idea to do these polls, man, to really add some clarity, you know. 8% said I'm PvPing but in Cata Classic instead. Only 8%. I was quite surprised by that. I expected that maybe to be like the 15, 20, 25%. kind of range. 8% only playing Kata. I gotta admit, I think Kata absolutely sucks. There's 0% chance I'd be playing Cataclysm ever, actually. I feel like it had like one good season, and then every season after that was just beguiled by PvE items invading PvP, and it just sucked. Just my opinion, okay? Don't like rip your goddamn pubes out. I quit PvP in WoW, but still play for the PvE, aka you're a little Care Bear, man. Look at the little icon I added in there, dude. That's 11%. Man, 11%. PvP and class design has become that crappy in PvP that 11% of y'all just said, screw it, I'm just gonna go hit NPCs instead, man. That's what I think of PvP. That's like a ringing indictment right there, dude. Again, I'm a bit surprised it was only 11%, but there you go, man. And 23% answered, I don't even play a WoW anymore. Why am I even here? Which is also a very interesting stat as well, to be fair. With how much we used to blast videos on this channel, you know, and for the longest time being super consistent, knowing that about 23% at least of you guys who are subscribed and at least were exposed to this poll just don't play the game anymore. I've just moved on to other things. Maybe you're playing, I don't know, some other PvP game now, maybe a MOBA or something, or you're just playing casual games or indie games or whatever, and you just kind of left WoW behind. Even that is kind of crazy. So very interesting results, man. Let's scroll on down to the comments and see what folks actually had to say. Starting from the top, looking forward to 8v8 ranked. I think everybody is. I think that's what the War Within is going to be all about, right? The solo shuffles, they were great. They were a good step in the right direction. However, solo shuffles had the, well, two massive weaknesses. One, it sucked to heal, and still sucks to this day to heal in solo shuffles, right? It feels like you lack a lot of agency on where your rating actually ends up. Yeah, it's just not great. And the queue times are like hours long, the higher rating you get, right? A rated system like BG Blitz is something I've wanted forever. Hell yeah, man, there it is. I quit WoW, but I still watch you and some others play. Well, that's lovely to know, Mr. Monster Juiced. Or it says, I think PvP looks awesome so far. Might be really good time, this one. I actually agree. I think that the class design is always going to use some work. I feel like the boat sailed on class design in retail a long time ago, and you either just accept that this is just the game now in terms of classes, and you can enjoy it, and you can find some enjoyment in that, and just engaging with the game as it is. And if you don't like the class design, and it's a huge turn-off for you, you should just go play something else. That's my honest opinion, because I feel like, bro, it's not going to change. It's too late. Like, every class and every spec in the game, okay, has button bloat, has way too much healing, all of that crap, right? These problems are way too widespread. They'd have to trim, like, 35% of every spec's spellbook, you know, in order to fix this now. It's not going to happen, man. They'd have to remove interrupts of certain classes that never used to have interrupts, and it's just too big of a change, you know, so genuine advice, man, for your own mental well-being, if you're not enjoying the game in terms of class design, I highly recommend just playing something else, man, genuinely. But yeah, there it is. That's just my 2 cents. Thinking of quitting ranked, by too much self-heal NCC, well, there it is. That's exactly what we were just talking about. Would love to get back into ranked PvP, but my old arena pals have all gone now. Well, Mr. Ethan Hamilton, that's what solo BGs are all about, because honestly, as sad as it is, I think a lot of people are in this exact situation, right? Where people used to have like these gangs of players that you'd hang about with, man, guildmates, stuff like that. You'd be like 3, 4, 5, 6 if you win a call at once, sometimes even more, and you'd all be blasting your 2v2s together and 3v3s and whatever. And this is the way that it would be, you know? Whereas now it's like, you're lucky if you know like one guy who still plays WoW from back in the day. It's just the way that it is, you know? Times change and all that, as a wise war chief once said. Man, we didn't know what we had when we had Garrosh, did we? Goddamn, we didn't appreciate him. Anyways, new battleground blitz is ranked, blah, blah, blah. Yep. I mean, that's the solution, right? To people who are struggling to find people to play with. I think it's great. Super Stacker, yeah, I hate PvP at the moment in arenas. What's up, by the way, man? It's so hard to find groups. Yeah. And if you find one, we'd run into rank 1 players at 1600 MMR. That actually happened. Like, last time I played 2v2s at like 1550 MMR. You're facing gladiators, dude. Like, it's a complete joke, you know? Especially, like, 2v2 in particular was really bad for that when I last tried, which albeit was a good few months ago now, but... and I can stand the queue times, but I've been trying the rated BGs solo, but we will see. Yeah, man. I think everybody's really putting all their bets on the rated solo battlegrounds, man. I was a casual guy before solo shuffle and blitz. Yeah, it gives you something to compete with, man. That doesn't require you to spend forever looking for a group, you know? Wingsu says, I'm not going to read all of this because it's just a lot. Honestly, the elitists are going to hit this and scream, get good. But the fact is, WoW PvP just sucks to get into. Man, dude, as someone who played at 2900 in Dragonflight, I agree. It wasn't what I'd call pleasurable. It could be satisfying to get the win because it was so complex that you feel like you really achieved something when you won. But at the same time, bro, like, it was sweaty. And it's going to be just as sweaty in the War Within. The class design ship, like I say, has sailed, and so I don't want to happen it too much, but Wingsu goes on to say, whether you're a new player or someone coming back from a long break, there's too much going on. Shit is out of control with procs on effects and whatever. Yeah, the amount of buffs and procs, and it's actually almost impossible to manage and like plan your rotations and like best combos or whatever in PvP based on procs. Like, unless the skill lights up on my action bar and says, click me, you son of a gun, I'm gonna miss it. It just is what it is, you know. There's just too many buffs going on, too many procs. I completely agree, man. The bloat is really, really badly out of control. It is, man. Next up, we've got I only PvP in WoW. If they break PvP, I tend to stop playing for a while. That's fair enough, man. I'm actually like that as well, by the way. I don't tend to play that many other PvP games these days. Like, WoW is where I go to compete in games. Generally speaking, I'm playing single player now, like in my own time. Oh, you guys actually can't see that comment. I'm a son of a gun. Okay, just scroll up a little bit. Yeah, this was Mr. Sean dropping that comment. But yeah, I agree. Roadkill, what's up, dude? Says, been PvP killed several times. Oh, been PvP killed several times on Deviant Delight Classic Vanilla, and hope to someday get honorable kills of my own. What a noble goal, dude. I love it. PvP only on Classic Era and Season of Discovery. That's also fair enough. To be fair, I guess that would count as Cataclysm in the case of the poll. I should have really included, I should have just said Classic Era, right? 1 hour solo shuffle queues? Yeah, no thanks. Yeah, solo shuffle is... It's gnarly, especially when you start to get a little bit higher rating, man. It doesn't feel great. Blizzard should stop treating PvP like a stepchild they don't want. Looks like PvE gets all the love. I mean, it's been like 20 years of WoW, though. They're not going to do it, man. Like, WoW is a PvE game. First and foremost. Always has, always will be. I share your sentiment, man. I wish they just had like a separate little pocket developer team that just worked exclusively on balancing skills in PvP situations and outright disabled certain skills in PvP instances. I think that would be fantastic. I think that would be so good. You know, people, I mean, screw it. I'll just leave it there, man. Because like I said, I don't want to harp on about class design, but there you go, man. Okay, those were your guys' thoughts. If your thoughts were not reflected in any of these comments and you want to chime in, make sure you do so in a comment down below, man, and I'll be checking it out. I do read basically every single comment that comes in on the channel. And it also helps the algorithm share the video around as well, man. So, have your say, goddammit, down below. For now, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you all did enjoy this one. Just a little happy, chatty video tonight. And, yeah, like and subscribe and all that good stuff, man. I've been out of practice, man. I'm not used to giving outros to videos recently. Thanks, guys, and I'm going to catch all of you all just a tad bit later, man. How about that?